time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is an Articles of News episode, and Chow, that is Charmaine from Texas.
Yep.
Recently got to go and have some, there's some balloons. I don't know
Yep.
why we're celebrating with balloons on Zoom in Texas. Is it because we're doing peace signs? Do I get balloons if
Yeah.
I do peace signs?
I don't know. It's just the
Uh,
way my Zoom is.
oh, okay. Anytime you move your hands at all, it's a celebration. Got to go see Steve Martin and Martin Short, and then I got to see the best part of the trip, Chow and
Woo-hoo.
Russ down in Texas. How are you?
We're good. We brought you some Bucky stuff. That was fun.
Yeah, and before he feels bad, Mr. Mayor, the best host. If you ever go to Texas,
Yeah.
be sure that you contact Mr. Mayor. He was phenomenal. Just being able to come to the show with us. We didn't get to sit by him, my brother and I, but then we got to roll around and see Texas.
Yeah.
It's a nice state.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you
It's
guys do all right by it.
yeah, we like it. We'll keep
It's
it.
not West Texas, hallelujah. Jeez, that's not there. You don't want to go there.
Unless you're in the Davis Mountains, in which
Yeah.
case it's a sky island and you might as well be in New Zealand. It's the weirdest trip I've ever. We went camping there and it
Okay.
is called a sky island because
Okay.
in the desert there's elevation and there's
Hold on.
mountains.
Now I'm gonna have to search this. Why is this it's called the Sky Island Davis,
Davis
Texas?
Mountains.
Davis
Davis Mountains.
Mountains. Okay, I'm
Yep.
looking. I'm looking right
Davis
now.
Mountains. Yeah, we were there right after monsoon season, so
Okay.
everything incredibly green.
Well, I'll
And
be. That's not what I think of when I think of Texas at all.
no, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And it's like my favorite place to go. And I made some joke with the park ranger, like, bet you're glad it's not hot anymore. And he's like, we don't really get hot here.
Hmm.
We've got elevation. But surrounded, you're in the flat desert, and then all of a sudden you roll into these mountains that were formed by volcanic eruption. So the
Okay.
rocks stack vertically. It's very Hawaii, New Zealand kind of feel. And
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
yeah, and the McDonald Observatory is there. So we went
Oh,
to a
sure.
star party where
Okay.
you got to look in the big telescopes and see planets from, like really far away, but really bright.
It
Anyways.
does not look like there are people for miles and miles.
There's not. There
Okay.
is no. So I always, when I go camping, I'm like, and one night we'll get pizza from Pizza Hut or
Yeah,
something,
no,
I just
that is
think
not what you're doing there.
there's no corporate America, no
No,
Walmart,
that's
no
great.
Starbucks,
That's
no
great.
pizza of any variety. It
So
is
you're
just,
are you bringing
yeah.
in, you pack in what you eat, otherwise you're not
Yeah.
eating?
Yep. And
Okay.
thankfully I was in my sourdough. I'm still in my sourdough era, but
Sure.
I had tons of sourdough. So we were eating all the sourdough. So it
Hmm.
was awesome.
That looks great. Is
So
it
yeah.
big? Is it like the size of Moab? Tell me like how big of a place this is. Is it just this lone mountain range and everyone goes there and you're like, now there's a lot of people in this little.
Not a lot of people go there.
Okay.
That was the other trip for me is I'm like, has nobody discovered this? Am I the
Yeah.
first
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
come
Mm-hmm.
here and do this? So not crowded,
Mm.
but lots of mountains and the campsite is right at the entrance of the mountain range.
Okay.
So on our like we hiked around and did all the stuff at the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on our last day, we went on a drive through the rest of the mountains and I was like, what is all this? How come it
Yeah.
keeps going? Where does this end?
Okay. Well,
So yeah, it was awesome.
yeah. All right. Done. Well, it's on the agenda.
Do it.
The
Come
Davis Island
Sky Island. And it's a
Sky
thing.
Island. Okay.
It's not the only sky island in the world. That's the other bizarre thing. But
Well,
like,
now how many Sky Islands are there?
I don't know, but they
How
exist.
many
It's
Sky
like a term.
Islands?
It's a legit term.
Where's Terraria? That's what Google plopped up for me. How many Sky Islands are there in Terraria? I don't know. In
I
the
don't know.
world.
Isolated mountain ranges in southeastern Arizona, New Mexico, North Mexico.
Okay.
It
There are
just
nine. There are nine of them. That's
nine.
cool. I'd
That's a
like to
new
go to
bucket
every
list
single
item.
one of them.
Go to all nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe when I go on a senior mission, I'm gonna serve a senior mission in the Sky Islands.
Sky Islands. Yep.
Yeah.
Do it.
Done. I don't know
Okay.
that there is such a mission. How are you, Chow? What's new?
Good. Not much is new. We just
Yeah.
got back from our friend's ranch in Mahia, Texas.
Okay.
And we go every Super Bowl to reunion with some friends that we used to be in the same ward, and we watched the Super Bowl together when we were in the same ward together. And now
Hmm.
we trek to their ranch in Mahia, Texas, which nobody knows where that is. If anybody's listening is saying, did she say Mexico? But she can't
Said it
remember.
wrong? Nope. She knows what she's saying.
It's Mexia, Mahia.
Okay.
So,
Is it a
and we
sky island?
no,
No, it's
no,
not. No. Is
they
it
have
anything?
water, but
No.
it's
Okay.
it's a flatter part of Texas.
Okay.
It's
So Texas. It's a
yeah, it's
Texas part of Texas.
not as pretty as my part in the hill country, but it's
Okay.
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 And our friends are great, and their ward is interesting. They're a branch,
Okay.
and they are expanding the branch building that they have.
Okay. So they got like a phase one building. They're expanding into a phase two.
Yep.
Good
So
for
they're
them.
meeting in the high school auditorium,
I love that.
which probably seats 900, but then your branches in there.
Hmm.
And so it was really quite interesting to go meet at the Mahia High School for church. And we, for whatever reason, we stayed in the auditorium. So we were in the balcony for Relief Society, but I could see the young men teaching a lesson, which they had like a object lesson with a science experiment was happening.
Cool.
It was like Bill
Yes,
Nye
because
was
you're in a
over there.
school, because that's what you
Yeah.
do.
And then I could see the elders quorum also over on the side, and I was kind of a little distracted trying to pay attention in Relief Society with like the sound
Sure.
board and the light board up there.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it was a
Sure.
different church experience for me this Sunday, but still good. Church is still true.
So
So,
awesome to do though. And that's the way like you have to do it. I don't know that I talked about it. I think I did when I went when I was up on the island visiting my mom's house and
mhm.
we did the on island branch experience and they actually meet in another church up there. It's incredible. I love being able to go as a Utah Saint to go somewhere else because guess what? Perspective. That's why. That's why you
Yeah.
go do that. So you can
Yep.
remember, oh yeah, not everyone has like within walking distance of my house, we have the old Taylorsville Tabernacle, which is now the Islamic Community Center, which they're doing a facelift on the outside. So grateful that they're putting in the money to that because the LDS Church just sold it to them. Then we got a stake center and another stake center, all within walking distance from my house.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's how it was for me in Taylorsville too.
Yeah. Until they tore yours down and put up a temple.
Yeah, that's where I got baptized though. They
Yeah.
had to make it permanent.
Yep.
They were like,
Yep.
we're keeping this one. So,
Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun to be able to have that experience. Go and do it. We all right? Was the Wild household all right post Bad Bunny I don't actually want to get into it too much. Although I will say this. I like a message of love and not hate. I like that.
yeah,
You know.
I like the reminder to go touch grass
Yeah. Which I
or
think
hide
was
in
a
the
subtle
grass.
thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the people's heads in the grass made me giggle. We were like, oh, we'll put both up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll watch both at the same
Sure.
time. And then we just kind of, you eat enough Super Bowl snacks, you get a little tired and you're like, I don't know.
What's your snack of choice?
So they did bacon wrapped green beans.
Okay.
We had, what else did we have? We are into the Dubai chocolate right now.
Okay.
We made key lime cookies. That was a big hit.
Okay.
We made chizinos,
I
which
don't
are
know what
delicious.
that is.
It is a Brazilian ball of cheese, but you can
Okay.
get it in the freezer section of your
Okay.
grocery store. But it's just this, it's almost like a dinner roll, but it's little and it's just cheese and it's
Okay.
delicious. And
Okay. That sounds great.
you bake it in the oven. It's warm and delicious.
Yeah.
So we had chizinos. We had, gosh, I'm trying to remember. I just ate it yesterday and I ate
Yeah.
a ton of it.
The food
But
coma sounds like it got you. We did clam dip. That was what I brought. That was what I contributed. You like a clam dip?
I like it okay.
Yeah.
It's not, but we have a lot of kids, so we
Yeah.
couldn't get
No,
into
you
the
couldn't get away with a clam dip with
fishy
kids. Yeah.
stuff.
No.
Yep.
No.
So, but I didn't care for the game. The game was kind of slow for me.
Boring.
So
Boring.
as a lawyer, you have very few party tricks.
Sure.
But I did end up in the kitchen
Mhm.
drafting people's wills.
Yeah, you
And
did.
yeah, and you only have to be 14 to witness a will. So then we
Okay.
have the 14-year-olds come in and witness, everybody's wills. And that was my party trick. Everybody left the Super Bowl. They thought they were coming for entertainment, but they left with their will. And
Nice. Are you a
so
notary too? So you could get that done? You bring your notary stamp?
no, so we didn't have a notary,
Okay.
so it's not self-proof, but we did what we could with witnesses, and
Okay.
we had, like my daughter witnessed, my friend's son witnessed, because they're 14. So I'm like,
Sure.
hey,
Sure.
you can now be a witness on
Yeah.
this. So yeah.
You explain to them the seriousness of being a witness?
Yes,
Yeah.
I said you have to watch them sign. You
Yep.
have to listen to the questions and the answers because you have to say today's this date. We're in this county in Texas.
Sure.
You're not under duress. You
Sure.
haven't taken any psychedelic drugs.
Sure.
This is your will. You want to sign this. Okay, go.
Anything crazy with the wills? People putting in crazy stuff?
No, just
Mine's
the
mine's
normal.
mine's nuts.
Really?
I don't have very much, but the stipulation on my death, if my wife is still alive, is pretty ridiculous.
Oh, Rich.
There's a bank account that has been established to pay for the mariachi band to play me
Okay.
from where the service takes place to the hearse, and then from the hearse to the gravesite. So we've got that.
So it's an event I shouldn't miss.
No, you absolutely should not miss it. If
I should
for
be
some
there.
reason I have an untimely death, there
Hmm.
is a DJ that will be hired to play the after party where everyone has food. And then all of my family has to invest in a vacation where they go and think about me. And then my my life trust or whatever reimburses per person based on if they go on a vacation, but they have to go on a vacation that is approved by my grieving spouse, that I would be something that I would approve of, and then they get reimbursed as such.
Well, that's really fun.
Yeah, so it's a little self-absorbed. Let's be honest
I
with one another.
There was a senior sister on my mission
Hmm.
who her husband's stipulation was she could not inherit until she served a senior mission.
Yes, good for
So
that
she
control.
was there just for her inheritance, and
Sure.
she did not want to be there on the mission.
Yeah,
She was counting the days to
sure.
not be around a bunch of, at the time, 21-year-old girls,
Sure.
sisters, young women, whatever you want to call us. But she was ticking off the days. So yours sounds better
Yeah,
than
mine's
that.
more of a party. I don't actually believe in a lot of those, like you have to serve a mission and or you have to whatever kind of qualifiers. I feel like your heart's not there.
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
I guess it's better than nothing. I guess if we're gonna start zero summing it that way, I guess
Yeah,
a mission against your will is better than no mission. Maybe,
maybe. Yeah.
maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. That's maybe a
Well,
discussion I'm not prepared to have.
mine and Russ, because we have minor children, so
Yeah,
ours is
who
a
gets your
little
kids?
crazy.
Not me. I hope. Am I in there? I hope I'm not in
So
there.
the family and his brother in Arizona,
Okay,
because they have a house that's big enough. They
they
have a
could
really
take the
large
kids.
house.
Okay.
The kids will all have a room, but it has stipulations on what they're going to do on our birthdays and our wedding anniversary. It
Oh
has all
yeah.
sorts of like stipulations for activities that they must do and
Okay,
participate to remember us. So
that's awesome.
yeah. Well, I mean, so at the Super Bowl party, I couldn't get that. It was like everything to each other and then to our kids, and this
Sure.
is who gets our kids. So we were just doing that kind of stuff. But, when I drew up our wills, I got to be real. And then on April 24th,
Sure.
you shall
Sure.
go to
Sure.
the Laie Hawaii Temple for your
Hmm.
16th birthday and think of your mother. And
Right.
like,
Right. Right. You're doing the better than nothing will, which when you consider what 73% of people don't have wills, is that what it is? Something like that?
it's high.
Yeah.
All I know is it's high and it's messy in Texas if you don't have one
Yeah.
and you have kids from a previous marriage. Those
Yeah.
people,
Oh, jeez.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's expensive and the surviving spouse is sharing property with the children because
Yep.
Texas protects the children.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So
So
where it
people are
probably
like,
should just go to the spouse, it
yeah,
gets kids involved real quick. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. And if it's complicated, if you have like adult kids from a first marriage
Yeah.
and then
Come on.
kids together.
Yeah.
And so now these like, oh, the lady who my dad, left my mom for,
Yep.
we now own her house together.
Oh, jeez.
So you don't
Yep.
just
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah. Well,
The
and
Super
even
Bowl party.
yeah, and even not that part, right? Like even if it's just like, hey, we have a will so that we actually know. Like my mom, she's like, you all know, and we're like, no, we don't. And you know what? Even beyond that, if you were to pass and you don't have a thing written, siblings can get weird when you're
Yeah.
talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why does he get that? He already has hundreds of $1,000. Okay,
Mhm.
well, because how else
I mean,
do we do this? Write it
and,
out. It
and
doesn't mean you're gonna die.
grief gets weird.
Yep.
I once spent 4 hours in a mediation where a brother and sister were fighting over a broken meat slicer
Yeah.
because the sister wanted it. Their dad had been a butcher.
Hmm.
She wanted his old meat slicer. Brother knew that, and so he was like, "Okay, $10,000 for the broken meat
Yikes.
slicer." And we spent 4 hours. I'm like, "You're paying me like $350 an hour to fight this with like just buy a new meat slicer." But
Yep.
she, had a meltdown like, "It's not the same. It's not the one he used. His
Yeah.
hand." She's doing the shaky voice
Sure.
cry.
Sure. Sure.
So anyway, she's since passed, just so you know, everybody who's thinking, oh, this attorney's doing confidentiality. Anyways, she has also
Yeah.
passed away. I've been an attorney for a while now.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
um,
people get weird. Like when I got divorced, when we went to mediation, which I just would like to speak, like there's like a middle of the road where you just sort of know, like if people are being decent human beings, you know what's going to happen at a divorce. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Here's the number. Oh, you're not going to do that. I can't believe. Okay. And then we went to mediation, and that was the number that ended up coming. There was a certain amount of like, but we
yeah,
ended up going to mediation where I said, all right, well, while we're at it, to your point of the broken meat slicer, I was like, I would like the Christmas tree that the lights don't light up and that you always gave me such a hard time about the lights not going up. You don't get to keep that. I want that
that's
Christmas tree.
my tree.
And
My
and
tree.
the really nice kayak paddle that I insisted that we get, I'm keeping that because
Yeah.
you gave me such a hard time. So it was a lot of that stuff. And guess what? When a will, it's just like, listen, it may be fair or it may not be fair, and I'm sorry, it doesn't matter, but this is what this person wanted. Here is
Yep.
where that says that. Oh, I can't argue with what this piece of paper says. Done.
Yep.
It's done
It
at
is what
that
it
point.
is.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. It's
So don't
nice.
make a mess for loved ones when you die. Have a will.
Yep. Get it done. Come join me at the next boring Super Bowl and I'll draft it for you in the kitchen.
I love that. My party trick. I did wills.
Yeah, I
My
do.
brother, a huge Seahawks fan, like it was great. So he was my you know how everybody, if you have more than one sibling, you have the one sibling that is like he and his wife are everything is extra.
Yes. Yes.
And I love him. He's of like the brothers, he's the brother that I talk to the most. He's the brother that you met because we
Okay.
go on trips. Like
Yeah.
he is the extra brother. Like, yeah, I want to go see Steve Martin. Yeah, we'll fly to Texas. That makes sense. Of course, we'll go do that.
Yeah. He's down for a good time. I dig it.
Yes, yes. And he apologizes, by the way, that he was so tired. He'd never been out
Oh,
past 10. And we all got together for ice cream until like midnight. And he's like, I haven't been out this late. But
he was
he
nice.
was using the Super Bowl party as an opportunity to teach his kids about like party hosting etiquette. And so you
Oh,
want to let them know what they can expect and what time food will be. And you want to make sure that there are seats enough for everyone if they come to a party and we have decorations. And so
yeah.
he got like 50 sets of balloons and asked all of his neighbors on his street if he could put balloons on their mailbox. So as you're making your way towards his house, there were balloons and, going in and what time food would be, like I say, and all of these different things. And then they banged pots and pans out on the porch afterwards where my brother would yell, see, and the kids go, Hawks,
Oh, I
see,
love it.
Hawks. Like it's just
Yes.
everything.
It's a party.
Yeah.
That's what you want. I
So
love
that's
it.
what we did. We watched a boring game and, kind of
Yeah.
sat around
Yeah.
and we're a part of that. Baked potato bar was what we had.
Oh,
It was good.
okay.
It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I don't love a baked potato, but I like that you don't have to eat a lot to be real full on a baked
Yeah.
potato. It's just like
Yeah.
that. It's done. Yeah. Just fill it up and done.
The part of the story that I missed is
Uh-huh.
that there was also a baptism in this branch on Super Bowl Sunday.
What?
And
What?
so
What?
we had a
What?
potluck. Yeah.
Okay.
So after we had church in the auditorium,
Sure.
we went to a ward member's house and a guy got baptized in the swimming pool because again, the building's being
Yeah.
remodeled old. So
Yes.
he got baptized in the swimming pool. Shout out to Justin for, his new
He's entering the covenant path. Good for
right.
Justin. Congratulations.
Oh, but with that, there was a potluck. So we had a lot of the potato bar reminded me because there was a whole section of funeral potato
Oh,
varieties. And so by the time we
oh,
got to Super Bowl, we had already
you're
eaten our way.
stuffed.
Yeah, we had every type of funeral potatoes possible on Pinterest.
Mm.
It was a really neat it was like overcast, and it was the kind of thing that once the baptism starts, the clouds clear
For
and
real? That's awesome.
yes, it was like yeah, so it was a really fun. And then we're in a backyard in a swimming pool at the same
Yeah.
time, you
Yeah. And the
know?
kids get to see that
So
experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was
That's
nice.
cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I
yeah.
didn't know this, and I should leave this here. So I shared a picture a couple of weeks ago when I was in Honolulu, Hawaii, and the old chapel, and it's now the Honolulu Initiative that owns the old LDS chapel there. Someone posted that the homeless people used to sleep in the baptismal font at that chapel. Do you know anything about that?
No, but it sounds cozy.
Yeah.
Like a
Like,
crib.
yeah, I don't know if it was like an outdoor like area for the baptismal font, and so when they drain it, like it was kind of a tiled area and it's right there on the ocean, pretty much.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
Like an outdoor bed.
yeah, I
So
kind of like that.
I never had that problem on my mission in Hawaii that I know
Homeless.
of,
Yeah.
where homeless people were sleeping in the font. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you didn't ever have that issue. I will say this about the halftime show as well. This is what I'm hoping for next year, fingers crossed. And I want to put this out there because people are going to be like, he's going to be political. And don't worry, people that emailed me about the political takes that I took on a couple articles of news ago, we're going to address them. We're just not going to address them now. I'm going to address them when I have Verlin on again because they
oh
address Verlin as well. So I just
yeah.
want to make sure he gets a chance to be able to visit them. But I would love in 2027 Super Bowl. I would love like the classics of country.
Oh yes.
Oh my
You
gosh.
posted about this.
Yeah, yeah.
I I have my own preference,
Oh, tell
but
me.
that would be great.
It's too soon
Hey,
for her. I understand where you're going. It's too soon. She
no,
can't do it yet.
I'm not Weird Al.
Oh my
That's all
gosh.
we need, right?
Yes. Oh my
How
gosh.
amazing would it be?
Yes.
And I
And
thought of this, it was the day the music died, and I was explaining the song to my kids, the American
yes.
song, which then Russ started to explain the Weird Al song. And then I thought, you start with the actual American Pie song.
Yes. Don McLean's long gone
Transition.
though, isn't he dead?
Yeah, but maybe a tribute band. I don't know.
Sure.
But then Weird Al, oh my gosh, like talk about bringing the world together. Weird Al.
That that might just be too good. That
Yeah,
might just be
we might break the system.
that might just be too great.
Yeah,
Because like even if you had like because I mean the artists that he's done songs from, you just have them do little cameos
right?
in each of the things, right? So you can lump in, you go old school. Too bad we can't have Michael Jackson, but you've got like Madonna, you've
Yep.
got your Pharrell. You can go that way. You've got just all over. That's
He's
incredible.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had that thought and I was like, this is the best like
Coolio.
somebody hit Jay-Z on the phone. I have an idea.
Yeah,
So,
I like that. My classics of country. I'm talking like Willie Nelson, hoping that he'd be around for that. Dolly Parton, you get
mm-hmm.
her to do it. You get your Reba, your Garth Brooks, your George Strait, and maybe there's a weaving through line of something like that.
Darius Rucker. Can we have
Yeah,
Darius Rucker too?
you get Hootie at the end of that whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We could go for that. And
I like
someone
that.
argued, "Oh, that's just a bunch of MAGA." I don't think it is, but I
No.
just like you get your really old country people, and I don't think that I think they're wise enough to not really associate one way or another, and we just tribute like America, the country music special at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If Weird Al's not available, that's it. I like that
I
plan.
do love a Weird Al idea. And then in like 5 years, Taylor Swift, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she needs time. She's doing other stuff. I couldn't
yeah.
imagine planning a wedding with
Well,
security.
they've put it on hold, haven't they?
No, I think people got invitations.
Um,
and they had to sign
I mean,
NDAs.
I'm going to say that Let's take a break. We're going to settle this as we take a break. We're going to come back and do actual articles of news about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, lest anyone think that we're just going to continue to talk about non news things, which was what we've done so far. It's mingled with LDS.
Yeah.
We'll come back and do that. We've got a bunch of articles of news, but we'll get to the bottom of this and we won't make you stick around while we try and figure it out. Coming back in the second half of Articles of News. The turning of another year makes me start to think about how I have not done one of these ads for Best DJ in Utah in over a year. I'm sorry, everyone, but it means business is good. It means you should hire Best DJ in Utah. Why, that's me. And I even have people that work for me, trained by me, affordable, and travel all over. Literally all over, going to Florida this year, for instance. And this year means 2026, not this year, which could have been several years in the past, like we've been doing. You can go to bestdjinutah.com, or you can go and find us on our Google business page. It's Best DJ in Utah. You will see that as of the recording of this, almost 700 5-star reviews. Find out what so many listeners of the Cultural Hall have already found out. I'm great at parties. I'm great in your ear holes, but I'm also great at parties. So find out if I'm available for your date. We can help you out. Weddings, baptisms, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, funerals. I'll do a funeral. Best DJ in Utah. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we talk about how right I was that they have, in fact, publicly said that they are putting it on hold. Who knows your Taylor Swift? Who's a Swiftie? This guy. Although, to your point that you said, I think so. So it's two ways that I think that this should go. One, I think that they should 100% get married privately. You get Papa and Mama Kelsey and Papa and Mama Swift and a couple other people, right? And you
Hmm.
go and you do it private. And then you know what I think you do? You sell tickets, make it a pay-per-view event, and you solve world hunger by selling tickets to Taylor Swift's wedding. Or you
Yes.
come up with some part of it, because here's the deal. So many people would pay so much money to do it. You're uniting your fan base. You're bringing people together on this very sweet thing. I know that that's a lot of pressure, but if you just said, hey, we are doing this and we are this part of our celebration, we are going to go for a great cause. Imagine a couple doing something like that.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
I
a
like
time that
it.
they could do it. They could do it. Let's go right into our articles of news. Hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. We've got a bunch of news. Some of it is a little bit older, things that we have needed to address and just haven't, just because the tone of each articles of news episode, we go one way and sometimes it's like, oh, this is a super happy episode or a super like Secret Lives of
Heavy.
Mormon Wives episode kind of thing. And this unfortunately is a super dark episode. So sorry everyone.
That's why you picked your formerly Gothic
Yeah, yeah,
co-host
yeah.
to join
Sweet,
you.
sweet Gothic Chow. It's because you know law. That's if I'm
Yes.
being honest, because some of these things run right into the law, and I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, let's start with something that you know quite a bit about, and to the point that you're able. The church bought some land in Texas. We sort of talked about this previously. I would love to know what this is. It's like 3,000 acres, and it's a big deal, but not a big deal. But is it a big deal? Land purchase in Texas.
It is an interesting prospect because it's in the Texas Hill Country, which is an environmentally sensitive area because we sit on top of multiple underground oceans, so to speak, underground waterways. Called the Edwards Aquifer is the biggest one
Okay.
that it that we have a lot of rivers that just pop out of the ground, and it's because of the Edwards Aquifer. And the
Okay.
water is always 72 degrees and it's beautiful, but because of that, it's environmentally sensitive for what you build on top of the aquifer. Because
Okay.
obviously, if you're going to build a nuclear power plant and it's leaking down through the soil, you're going to poison all our rivers. We have a few endangered species like the blind salamander that lives in our rivers.
Hmm.
We're also the only place you can find Texas wild rice in the rivers.
Okay.
So it's really unique, and this is the area that the land was bought is 3,000 acres that is part of that land. So, previous ranch land, there was an attempt to make it like a subdivision,
Hmm.
and I had some small involvement in that, um, which is what I had previously told you about. There was some fight over control of the land, and I essentially helped with the daughter of the landowner to fight against that. And we were successful, but now the land has just been sold to the church. So I'm curious what's going to happen. It was approved to be a subdivision, but a lot of people sued about it, saying you should not create a subdivision because you will destroy our rivers and save the blind salamander, save our, rivers, our natural resources. And then there's this other group that wants to create a hiking trail between San Antonio and Austin.
That's
And
kind of cool.
yes. Yeah. And I could see the church, with everything that's happened in Utah with Salt Lake, I could see them being very sensitive to the land and what's needed and doing something that creates that walking trail because it's not almost complete, but they have parcels the whole way between San Antonio and Austin. And this would be a key part to make that path happen. So
Hmm.
if there's anybody at the church headquarters or in the church's private equity firm listening, please consider that. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. I mean, the land itself is pretty close to the Austin temple,
Hmm.
relatively close, which is also close to the San Antonio temple. So it would feel very Utah to build another temple on this land.
Does
And right now
does the church in that particular area of Texas support something like that?
I don't think so right now. The
Sure.
land is in one stake, right? It's not like it's 3,000 acres, one stake.
Uh-huh.
That stake covers almost all the way to Houston, and it covers south up to South Austin, and it covers to San Antonio. So it's a large swath of land, and there is some development along the freeway, but at the same time, I don't see the population booming that way.
Hmm.
So I could see it being a cattle ranch, right? That's what it's been used for, and the church does a lot of farms and ags throughout the, United States, even here in Texas, when the ranch in Mexia,
Hmm.
the ranch branch in Mexia that I
Hmm.
was at,
Hmm.
it has a church in the boundaries is a church farm. And that's where a lot of their members are. They're members that are working on the church
Working on
farm.
the ranch. Yeah, let's do it. I say let's build a
Yeah.
ranch and a hiking trail and a
And a
small
hiking trail.
subdivision. We could do it.
Small, well, I say boo to the small subdivision
Yeah.
just because, you
I'm just
know,
trying to make everyone happy.
yeah. Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
But I could see it being like maybe there's a little church camp or something. I don't know.
Ooh, I love that. Are we still doing church camps?
I don't know. Are we?
I feel like pretty soon we're going to need to do adult married FSY. And we'll have to
Agree.
call it something else, but like, hey, tag it out and in an area, the wilds, you give your kids to the, Vandernukers and they'll take, you take their kids and you guys go for 3 days for a camp in Texas on a ranch where you guys can strengthen Christian family principles. I'm all for it. I would love that
I
camp all day long.
I know you didn't mean to segue this, but this actually did happen in Missouri to a certain degree.
Go on.
This was a news story. I saw it on the church news Instagram because I
Go
follow it.
on.
But Missouri youth created a For Strength of Adults conference for ward members.
Yes.
And so you're in the right line. I think that there is a way that is going.
We have to. We have to teach adults to be able to connect. We focus so much on the youth, and that's important because they're the rising generation and all the things and all that. Yes, yes, yes. And we have to do something more than the 2 hour block that we do in church to create connections with people in our ward and stakes.
Yes,
Hands down.
hands down. And I think something like that, because those are happening at other churches too.
Yeah.
So it is a way to strengthen testimonies and faith
Mhm.
of adult members who, frankly, we need to be strengthened too, because this is also, you kind of get comfortable. There's not as much pressure. And so then
Sure.
you feel, okay, I'm 41. Let me deep dive into this section of my testimony. And you get there. So it would be nice to have a testimony strengthener, not just, you know, testimony questioners happening.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe it's a family camp. I could see a family camp going on too, right? Come and bring the kids, and there's things for all the ages, and it's a multi-day family camp.
yeah, I
We're
like
not
that.
dressing up like pioneers. We're doing things for people nowadays that there's a budgeting track, there's a
Yes,
ministering thing, there's a
communicate.
betterment in your profession thing, there's a wills. Oh, boom,
Yeah,
there, done. Like
yep.
all these
How to
things.
handle what is it? The dissonance, you know how they talk about that sometimes in conference. How do you
Yes.
talk about like difficult conversations and
Yes.
dissonance and yeah,
John,
I
why are we not doing this? Let's design this thing. We
I don't
probably
know.
shouldn't talk too loud. They may put us in charge of something like this.
Oh, right. What? Who's calling?
I thought this was cool. The executive director of the World Food Program, WFP, came to Salt Lake to tour the humanitarian facilities and meet with leadership of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For folks who will likely be making the pilgrimage to Utah, with the Salt Lake Temple being able to be toured through, I can't imagine that there won't be a large influx of people going to see everything with the church's welfare. And you should. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, taking the family, going west or east, depending on where you live, gonna go to Salt Lake and gonna go check it out, you need to, and they offer these things, the tours through the welfare, like what the church's welfare program does. It is top notch, top shelf. I don't know that there's a better program. That is why leaders of countries, leaders of organizations like this come and check it out. Here's what's cool. The church with the WFP has collaborated for 12 years now, impacting 6 million lives across 49 countries. Some of those bigger things, the Barbados Logistics Hub, which is the church-funded emergency hub that facilitated rapid aid response following Hurricane Melissa. So essentially what it is, church partnered with WFP. They have this place there that they can be able to store things and go, hey, we're in Barbados now. We're that much closer. It doesn't have to be days. It can be hours. The Haitian school meals, there was an 8 million contribution from the church in September 2024 to celebrate nutrition for children in Haiti. The significant financial contributions, including a $32 million donation in 2022 to address global hunger crises, and then also just the shared vision that leaders from both organizations, that being the presiding bishopric as well as President Johnson of the Relief Society, shared with their commitment to the World Food Program. So cool to have Cindy McCain here to be able to check that out, and cool that the church is such a leader on that. And I look to that, and I know that we could always do more, but when I look at what we do, welfarely speaking, pretty awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever done a shift at
Of
Welfare
course.
Square?
Of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I take my non-member wife and we do shifts on occasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I lived there too. So it's amazing. And I know in Texas we have a big move for food stability for children,
Oh, really?
where they have during the summer. So a lot of kids come to school because this is the only time they're going to get a meal.
Yeah.
Right? So be able to eat breakfast and lunch at the school. And now in the summers, if you go to a library or something, our school districts, you also get a free lunch. They have the school bus show up, because what are these kids doing in the summer to eat?
Yeah.
And so it's part of, especially in low income school districts. And I just think, to me, it's very much mirroring what the church is doing. So
Yeah. Yeah. From a really great story to maybe a not so great story. Maybe
let's
we
go.
go
Bring
here.
us down, Richie. Bring
Yeah.
us down.
Listen, I'm always doing it.
A whole octave.
2 octaves. That's how much. This story is a couple weeks old, but I thought it was significant. Nicole Bennett is an 18-year-old woman who was reported missing. This is a couple weeks ago down in Red Cliffs area. So down, think between like Hurricane and St. George in Utah. She was to go on her mission. She disappeared just a couple of days before her LDS mission farewell. She was supposed to be serving in the Italy-Rome mission, set to turn 19 the following day, and it was learned that her vehicle was located at the Red Cliffs Recreation area. A rescue crew went out to try and find her. They called it off kind of in the middle of the night, said that they would wait till they would wait until light to be able to find her, and then they found her. And
A family member.
yeah, a family member found her. It's I these these stories about this, I I always get so worried that as people we culturally interpret these things incorrectly. And so I just hope I don't have any more of the story. There hasn't been a follow up to it. Um, but I hope that like, as membership, whether this is happening in your area or you're able to show up on some online fashion, I hope we're showing up for people and not being like, well, she's going to be serving her mission on the other side, or some sort of like trite dismissal about the loss of that we try and make sense of it. And so we have to force it into some way of, it's at least like it's just sort of a tragic story that you just go, huh, yeah, that's
I
too
think
bad.
all you can say is it just sucks, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And there's so many for the, I mean, there will be peace and comfort that comes. That comes with grief and as you move on, but I still find myself, we have a mutual friend, Richie, who passed
Hmm.
away, Tilt.
Yeah.
And I still find myself, I just watched a comedy special on Netflix that I loved, but I couldn't help but wonder what could have been. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That,
Hmm.
that sucks of losing somebody before you feel like you've seen everything they would have done in
Sure.
this life sucks. And so yeah, it hits you at the weirdest times. Like I said, I'm watching this Netflix documentary or not documentary, comedy show.
Hmm.
I'm laughing, oh, this is so funny, this is so funny. And then all of a sudden the thought just hits you like, couldn't you see Tilt doing one of these? And
Sure.
it's like, just brings you down
Yeah.
2 octaves, like you said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my condolences to the family, and the suck is just gonna suck. And I'm not gonna try to placate you by saying anything that just makes me feel better or makes me feel like I'm trying to make you feel better. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
say it sucks.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it. Maybe that's why I bring it up, but like I always try and make sense of it or try and bring peace around to it. And
Mhm.
and I am trying very much to just be the guy that shows up and doesn't say anything. It's super hard for me.
Yeah.
But like I'm just trying to be like the hey, I'm just here,
Yeah. It's
and
just that.
not feeling like I have to be like, well, and we believe in eternal families and everything will be great, and I bet they're serving a minute. I'm just, I'm here.
And I deal with death a lot because of my wills, estate
Hmm.
plan. This is like the theme of this episode, I
Yeah,
guess.
geez.
So I can sit with people. I've sat with a lot of people in grief and just I can't fix it. I'm
Hmm.
just an attorney that's there. But last week I was at baseball tryouts for one of my kids,
Hmm.
and it was me and one other mom, and the rest was dads. It was Dadland, right? And so I go to the other mom, I'm like, your husband's a video game guy too. Like I said something stupid,
Sure.
trying to be friends with her. And she said, well, my late husband,
Oh, shoot.
but
Oh, shoot.
I just felt bad. She said, actually, it's the first time I've referred to him that way. And
Uh-huh.
I just said to her, you can do whatever dark humor that you need
Yeah,
to get through this. I deal with this a lot in my profession. So,
sure.
lay it on me, won't phase me. I won't think you're being crazy. I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, and for some people I know just being able to talk about it is a huge deal, right? Because
Yeah.
so many people don't talk about it. And this is in a lot of ways about a lot of things. Like when we have friends who have left the church and have just to be able to say, hey, I recognize that you left the church and I want you to know that you're still my friend.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
one has said that to me. Or like, hey, what in particular was it about the church that made you want to leave the church? It's interesting how when I've asked that question to people, like the way that sometimes people will be like, you know what, thank you so much for asking. And other
Hmm.
times where people are like, well, I don't know if I can tell you.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you, then I mean, then right? It's people, we're
Yeah.
tricky, man.
Yep. Yeah. And you can be like, don't worry, I can handle it.
Yeah, I
I
got
think I
this.
can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
But
through some
maybe
stuff.
not. No.
Oh, yeah. But my condolences to the Bennett family. And love and just, they've asked for privacy at this time, and let's give it to them,
Yeah.
and just I'm sorry. It sucks.
This I thought was sort of interesting to learn. The Grand Blanc church shooting and subsequent burning and all of these things. It has been found that one of the congregants was carrying a gun in church,
Hmm.
which I think is significant, knowing that the handbook of instructions is like, please don't bring your guns to church. I don't feel one way or another about it. I just think that it is significant. I understand why people would feel the need a gun with them at all times. My brother of mine, carries all the time, all
Yeah.
the time. Now he's in HVAC, and so he finds himself in some situations where he's just like, I feel better about it, and anything like that. But I assume, though don't know, he also packs when he goes to church. It sounds like it was of benefit to these congregants that this particular gentleman, I assume, was carrying his gun in this time. So I just think it's significant to note. That's all.
I'm in Texas, and it is not uncommon. I think we've talked about this before. We had security protocols pretty
Hmm.
early on because we had the Sutherland Springs Baptist shooting fairly close to where we're at.
Hmm.
And I, it doesn't faze me at all to have people carrying
Yeah.
at church. I'm
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah.
I know, here's the other thing. I know that if they're doing this, they've taken trainings,
Yep.
they understand the weight of what they're doing. It's
Yes.
not somebody that just went down or filled out a form online. These people that I have witnessed carrying at church also carry at the grocery store,
Hmm.
whatever, wherever they're at. And it's something they take really serious. So
Yeah.
I know they're not supposed to. At the same time, I'm glad that they're here at church taking the sacrament, and they are, trying to keep their covenants.
Yeah.
So
It also interesting to note that the guy, Thomas Jacob Sanford, called in other threats so that the police would go there. You can hear actually the audio of these 911 calls where he's like, "Hey, this is going on over here," to
interesting.
divert the police as he was headed to do what he was doing, premeditated.
Yep.
It's just gross. And I hope more than anything in the world, I don't know this, I don't have any sort of special knowledge about this, but I hope that we can take um I hope that there is being something that is prepared with the saints from that particular congregation, where we will be able to share their witness of the worst thing in the world and the
Mhm.
aftermath of the worst thing in the world. And I hope that whether that's a documentary from someone that's doing that, whether that's the collective thought, whether that's something that the church specifically has said, we need to take this responsibility for this and we are going to put resources towards this. I don't know if that's happening, but I hope so much that it is, because what an amazing example of the worst thing happening and being able to share that with the world.
Yeah, trying to prevent it
Yeah,
from,
not trying to make a Sundance Film Festival award winning,
no.
that kind of thing, but
Well,
to be
and
able to
there's,
share these people's stories and be able to say, "Hey, the worst will happen,
yeah, there
and you can rise."
There is, so in my town in San Marcos, Texas, we have Texas State University, and part of Texas State is something called the Alert Training Center,
Hmm.
where it's an active shooter training center. And the woman who's the director of it is one of my friends, but they look at these kind of shootings and they try to figure out, what did people do? How do we help people? What do we do to prevent this?
Hmm.
What is unique? This is something what you just shared is unique. And I know, if not in the film world, in the academic world,
Sure.
right? I foresee there being something coming out of this that is helpful and good, because that is a very unique thing to send law enforcement, to anticipate law enforcement and say, what can I do to divert law enforcement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh,
And I've thought about, certainly when it first happened, I thought about trying to get some of the the people there on the ground to come on and to talk a little bit about, you know, that what they experienced and to share that. And I think I will. I've sort of just been letting the grass grow under their feet a little bit to go, hey, you know what? Let's give you some time to be able to grieve. Even as we record this now, it hasn't even been 6 months.
Right. Well, and I would say, and I know you've already talked about the new Elizabeth Smart documentary
Yeah.
in a other episode, but I've read all of her books that she has put out.
Mhm.
I watched that documentary and I learned things that I don't think she had processed before.
Yeah.
And we are talking about decades after this experience. So I think sometimes, like you said, the grass has to grow under, there's just stuff that processing that happens over time. And when they're ready, who knows what it will be that they will be able to share. But their timing, not our timing.
Yeah, and interesting to note too, I wonder if we'll hear about it because it was just the week before General Conference when it happened, when this whole thing happened. Elder Bednar certainly having the experience to be there on the ground, in the place short days after. I wonder if we'll hear from Elder Bednar about that at our next General Conference. If we'll hear from President Oaks about that with our next General Conference. Because a 6 months amount of time, they've got to been able to visit with some of those folks, leadership or otherwise.
Yep. And I just want to another little shout out to General Conference. It's on Easter Sunday this year.
Yep.
So I just think it'll be, sometimes General Conference can feel very follow the book. Here's the program. This is the thing. And I just hope this one is more like one of the heart, so to speak, between what you're talking about them experiencing and it being on Easter. Make this one, if you're listening and going to speak at General Conference, make this one from the heart. Please don't give me a talk about like, we need to, clean our windows.
Yeah.
Look good to others. Let's make it about just loving people. So anyways, yep. All right, where are you going next? Oh, go ahead.
It's interesting. My ward, we're doing a whole thing. We're going to the temple the Saturday before the Sunday before Easter, because that's the one that the church has said, let's only make that an hour and make that our Easter celebration this year, because Easter Sunday is on General Conference. And so like we're doing a big temple thing, and they're doing like understand the importance of the Easter Holy Week. Like they are leaning heavy into it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to have that in conjunction with General Conference this year.
Do you want to know a really strange Southern Bible Belt thing about Easter?
Yes.
That I cannot find any sort of doctrine basis for it.
I love this already, wherever this is going.
The Monday after Easter is called Easter Monday.
Okay.
And we don't have school on Easter Monday.
Okay.
And I can't figure out what happened. Like, what else happened on Easter Monday that I'm supposed to be doing with my kids? But it's like we don't have anything. And actually this year and a lot of years, we get the Friday, oh gosh, it's not Palm. There's Palm Sunday, the Friday before Easter. What is that called? It's called the day.
It's Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Good Friday we get off. I mean, Easter is a 4-day holiday in the Bible Belt.
Yeah,
but I just can't, like, what am I doing on Easter Monday? Were we walking somewhere? Like, is there a food I should eat? Why is this a thing? But it is a thing, and it's on our calendars. Well, it's Easter Monday.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, there is a pastry that you should be eating.
Oh, there is?
It's called an Easter Mona.
What?
And it's usually given by godparents to their godchildren. So make sure you get that.
Okay.
It looks like a fruit cake gone really bad. Real bad.
Something that we saved.
Let's see. Why it's with a friend at the United States. Nope, nothing there. All right. Contact at theculturalhall.com. Tell us why we get Easter Monday, Southerners, Southern folk.
But as long as my kids have been in school, it's been it's Easter Monday, so they don't have school. And what am I supposed to do?
Well, in fairness, in Utah, we have the deer hunting weekend that we
Yeah.
used to do, that then we tried to brand it as Harvest Weekend, and then we
Yeah.
tried to brand it as something else, and it's really just so people could go deer hunting and not have to come back that early.
Yeah.
So there's
So
that.
maybe that's the thing, but no, it's a legit. If you Google it, you'll see all about Easter Monday,
Hmm.
but no religious basis that I can, biblical basis that I can find for it.
Well, we didn't get to very much news.
I
Uh, that's on me. There's a whole thing. We'll likely get into this about the churches. Actually, maybe we end here. The church's helpline. Have you followed any of this in the news? It wasn't in what I sent you.
Oh, no.
So, there is a
Take me in
video
blind.
that. What's that?
I said, take me in blind.
I don't know that I can do it, so maybe we do a better job about talking about it later. But the church's helpline has been in the news because of a social media post. So I'm going to set that up better. You can can't count on that, and also a retort to several people who said we should call the cultural hall. What do they call it? You should call it the values hall, the something that you guys are just you're so heavy-handed, you know, making sure that that we see your values with the political division. So we'll talk about that in the upcoming articles of news. We can end on this though. Let's end here.
Okay.
The
Is it
baptisms. What's
Okay.
that?
I was like, it better be a happy note, Richie.
Yes.
Don't end us in a downer.
No, I would never. I would never. I probably would actually. The baptisms in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This is worth clicking on the show notes so you can see the beautiful picture about this. Missionary work in the Kazumbalisa stake and the Mweni Ditu stake. 87 baptisms in the Kazumbalisa stake and 97 in the Mweni Ditu stake. This happened just at the end of last year. It's so awesome to
Yes.
see these saints and the people supporting them and all their bright colors as they make their baptismal covenants. So cool. So cool.
Yep.
Go check out the picture. It's so
87.
great. Yeah.
87 new converts.
In one stake and then 97 in the other, so almost 200, and you know that that's happening almost every week.
Yeah. And that Relief Society, I'm sorry, I'm going to gender stereotype. The Relief Society is washing those baptism suits.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
You think about the logistics of that? The women's, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The unseen work.
I told you about the you'll appreciate this. This is where we'll end. So they sent out an email, like all our stake presidency sends out an email that says, blah, 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 for Christmas and whatever. And if there's any women that would like to make a quilt or do some stitching or something like that. And I can't remember what it was exactly, but I sent an email back and they never even responded. I said, can we not be 1950, 1960 and just say anyone who's willing to make a quilt or something like that? Because there are lots of guys who quilt.
Yes.
Can we just say, and if there are anyone who would be willing to do that? Or my ward still does the women get the food pass along thing and the men get the setup takedown thing. I'm like, what if I want to make food? Or what if I'm a woman who wants to set up some chairs and doesn't want to make food? Can we just, even if it stays the exact same, can we just not have it be that the men don't get the food sign up list? Can we just do that?
Yeah. What if we have a CrossFit champion female that wants to do?
Right. She could set up some chairs in a hot minute.
Or a guy that's a chef. Yeah, I agree. I think that's nice. But yeah, it's make it open. It's called Michael's, not Martha's.
Yeah. It's called Michael's, not Martha's. That's the name of this episode. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
And if you did not feel well to join us this week, you'll join us next week.
And then when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, don't worry, I'll take care of these, by the way. In the meantime, go Tar Heels, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, The Tiger with a U, Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, and Latter Day 3D Studio will be saving a seat for you
on the back row
of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat.